Shalom, shalom, Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RICANS, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to my Akim, YAHAWAH, who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this final captivity. This is Brother Kawakab coming at you with another lesson. Let's not start with this. Let's start with... whatever. Let's just say... Proverbs chapter 1 verse 10, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. Now, the thing is, I'm going to be entirely transparent with this. The inspiration to do this lesson does come from the Al-Azhar thing. But speaking as a man, I personally do not want to speak on it just because I just feel like the Spirit is not on me to speak on him and his situation. I don't know why, but I feel every time I try to think, you know what, let me go do a lesson on it. I'm going to do a lesson on it and all this stuff. Every time I thought about it or I was about to do it, the Lord just stopped me. All right. I wholeheartedly believe that, and I wholeheartedly am not going to say anything about him specifically. But at the same time, while I was watching other brothers' lessons, all right, I am going to talk roughly about the topic of it and the importance of why when there is someone that is going off like that, you have to really separate yourselves from them, all right? So the very first thing I want to get into this is with this. Let's get this, okay? Because I just want to make this clear. This is not a rebuke to Al-Azhar, all right? And I'm not saying this because I'm afraid of him or anything like that. I'm just strictly stating this for Guerrilla Hebrew or anything. But I'm strictly stating this because I just don't believe that it is my place specifically to rebuke him. Everyone else rebuking him, I agree with them. Anyone that has said he was wrong, all right, I have absolutely no problem with it. And on top of that, I have whatever. You get the point. All right. I'm not gonna speak on him, but again, I want to talk about this specific topic. All right, now let's get into this. It's in Numbers chapter 25. All right, it's Numbers chapter 25. Let's start at the top. And Israel abode in Shittim, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab, and they called the people unto the sacrifice of their gods, and the people did eat and bow down to their gods. And Israel joined himself unto Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against Israel. And now, before I continue on, let me also get this in the book of Jonah. Before I'm gonna go back to Numbers, but I think this is quicker to just do. All right. So Jonah chapter 1 verse starting from the top. Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah the son of Amittai, saying, Arise, go to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me. But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went out to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish, and he paid the fare thereof, and went down into it to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord sent unto a great wind unto the ship, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so the ship was like to be broken. Then the mariners were afraid, and cried every man unto his power, and cast forth the wares that were in the ship into the sea, to lighten it to them. But Jonah was gone down into the sides of the ship, and he lay and was fast asleep. So the shipmaster came to him and said unto him, What meanest thou, O sleeper? Arise, call upon thy power. if so be that Yahweh will think upon us, and that we perish not. And they said, every one to his fellow, come and let us cast lots, that we may know for whose cause this evil is upon us. So they cast lots, and the lot fell upon Jonah. Then said, all right, so Slaki, let's just establish something first. So first things first, YAHAWASHI told Jonah, go prophesy for me in where is it? Where was it again? In Nineveh. All right. Jonah didn't want to do it. He went to go flee and leave. He got on a ship. The ship was basically, I guess if you want to say cursed, quote unquote, air quotes. All right. In the sense of like, the Lord was punishing Jonah, but the people nearby Jonah were going to be punished and potentially, keyword potentially, destroyed by proxy of being in the presence of Jonah. And the reason for this is because when someone is going off, when something bad is happening, and that's when the Lord, wow, crazy. That's when the Lord is like trying to signify the people that are in the presence, all right, that, hey, this person, someone amongst you is going off, or maybe it's you that's going off and you need to repent. All right. So as a result of that, the Lord, so as a result of that, if you are in the company of wicked people, then that's when judgment will fall upon you. All right. And let's continue on. Verse 8, then said they unto him, tell us, we pray thee, for whose cause this evil is upon us? What is thine occupation, and whence comest thou? What is thy country, and what people art thou? He said unto them, I am an Hebrew, and I fear Yahweh, the Lord, the power of heaven, which hath made the sea and the dry land. Then were the men exceedingly afraid, and said, why hast thou done this? For the men knew that he fled from the presence of the Lord, because he had told them. Okay, so basically, Jonah had said, the reason why all this is happening is because YAHAWASHI, he's judging me because I didn't listen to him. I went against his word. All right. Verse 11, then said they unto him, what shall we do unto thee, that the sea may become unto us? For the sea wroth and was tempestuous. Then said they unto him, what shall we? I already read that. Slaki. Verse 12, and he said unto them, take me up and cast me forth into the sea. Go, so shall the sea become unto you, for I know that for my sake this great tempest is upon you. So as I had already explained it. So basically what was needed to do was they needed to remove the evil, remove the wicked person from their company in order to subside the anger and the wrath of YAHAWASHI. All right, which is what happened in here when they tossed Jonah overboard, or so that the Lord would stop the tempest falling upon them. All right, so that they wouldn't be destroyed. All right, it was that warning. Now the next step, because honestly I could have just done that, but I wanted to get a second instance, because this is very normal. All right, because this is very not normal. What's the word? This is a lesson to be learned, so I might as well bring it all up at once. Numbers chapter 25, verse 1. Oh no, we read up to verse 3. Let's go to verse 4. And verse 4. And the Lord said unto Moses, take all the heads of the people and hang them up before the Lord against the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said unto the judges of Israel, slay ye every one his men that were joined unto Baal Peor. And behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought upon his brethren a Midianitish woman. Actually, first, Slucky, let me get some context and review. It's like a review. Verse 1 to 3. Basically, YAHAWASHI was angry at Israel for sleeping with the Moabite women, and as they slept with them, not necessarily for sleeping with the Moabite women, they were allowed to do that, But the problem was that they were letting the Moabite women, all right, turn their hearts from YAHAWAH to their Moabite gods. All right. So as a result of that, that's where the issue lied, because they were allowing these women to turn, which Moabite is the modern day Chinese people. All right. So they were letting their women turn their hearts to follow after their gods. The Lord was angry at that and went to go kill all the people that were doing it. And now you're going to see what happens when someone is left alive to, even without us knowing, but when someone is left alive to continue in their wickedness. Okay, so let's continue on. Verse 6, and behold, one of the children of Israel came and brought unto his brethren a Midianitish woman in the sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation and the children of Israel, who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it. He rose up from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her belly, so the plague was stayed from the children of Israel. So basically, in order to prevent the Lord from wanting to send plagues, much like the plague that was sent towards Jonah, because Jonah had disobeyed YAHAWASHI. So as a result of that, they were able to figure out who it was beforehand, they were able to stop it from happening. But for Jonah's sake, the men on the ferry, or the ship, not the ferry, but the ship, they were able to, they didn't know, so they just took Jonah in without knowing, and then after Jonah told them, that's when they took him out. They took him out from what's it called? All right. What the fuck? All right, well, Slacky, I guess I didn't read the entirety of the stuff. Whatever, you get the pictures. It's still the same thing. Whenever bad things start to happen, then they realize, okay, you know what? Someone is doing something wrong. Let's figure out who's in the wrong. We have to get rid of them now. All right, we have to get rid of that problematic person, the person who's bringing the wrath of YAHAWAH onto us, because the affiliation to that, especially, well, yeah, I'll just say the affiliation to someone going off, that's going to put you in hot water. All right. Now, next, Numbers 26, verse 10. No, let's start at verse. Verse 9. And the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. This is that Dathan and Abiram, which were famous in the congregation, who strove against Moses and against Aaron in the company of Korah, when they strove against the Lord, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah. When that company died, what time the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. So basically, once again, when you have these men that go against the Lord, all right, the Lord is oftentimes takes it upon himself to cast judgment upon them. All right, and in this instance, this was someone, because there's two separate instances, which I thought it was important to include this at the same time. All right, even though we were talking about something specific. All right, but at the same time, like, there's going to be people who are fighting against us. All right, we're someone, like, say for example, you're in a group. All right, if someone is just saying, okay, well, I don't want to serve YAHAWASHI anymore, then that's when, like, if it gets to it, then you either have to fight them, or the Lord's just going to destroy them to get them out of your hair and stuff like that. All right, And then you also have the second instance where if you don't know, then people are going to start dying. There's going to be a problem. And then you're going to be like, oh, you're like, what the heck is going on? Why is this stuff happening? And then you have to actively work to figure out who's the cause of it. All right. And as well as fix and resolve said solution. All right. Now, Leviticus chapter 19 verse 17, thou shalt not rebuke, Leviticus chapter 19 verse 17, thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. Okay, so we're supposed to be rebuking our brother, neighbor, anyone. Okay, when someone is, amongst you and you know that they're doing something wrong, you can't just say, oh, I love them, it's fine, they can do whatever they want. You have to make sure that they are not, just being wicked just for the sake of being wicked, because there are certain people who have different, addictions. If you want to use that term, maybe it might not be the best term, but it's a term to use. And there might be some people with certain addictions that they go doing certain wickedness, and as a result of that, that's going to lead the Lord to wanting to judge judge them and their affiliations, because oftentimes the Lord does not just deal judgment in individuals. It is through groups, like nations, primarily nations, but at the same time, groups. All right. So that's why you need to, being a house. All right, as an example, that being in a house. All right, which. I don't mean a literal house, but I mean like the house, like a family and stuff like that. That's when you have to actually actively seek to correct people. But if they don't want to correct, then that's the thing. And let us get that. Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked ways to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand. So if you see someone being wicked and you don't warn them, saying, hey, this is not right, this is not what the Lord wants, all right, then that blood of them not having received the warning is on your hand. That's your responsibility, because the Lord set you up, all right, with the knowledge to be able to warn them. All right. So if you warn them and then they don't listen, then that's another thing. Then the blood is off your hands. All right. Which is that in the next verse? Yes, it is. Verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. So you will be excused from any blood after having warned the wicked of, hey, don't do this, don't do X, Y, and Z, and you did your due diligence, you did your responsibility of letting them know what they needed to do, what they needed to abstain from. Okay, so outside of that, that's when you're not going to be held accountable for what someone else does. Okay, but you do have to warn certain people. Okay, Matthew chapter 18 verse 15, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. Verse 16, but if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it unto the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. So basically, you go through these different avenues to actually try to correct someone. All right, and when you tell someone, all right, you tell someone, hey, you're going off, you're doing this, down, and third, stop doing this, then, and they listen, they actually listen, and that's when you've gained a brother, like you gain, a brother or sister in YAHAWAH, all right, that's when they actually, are sincere, all right, which also, let me get that. Oh, I forgot it. I literally had it, and I just forgot it. The topic, the verse was, I forgot it. That's so annoying that I just had a good precept and I forgot it. Slakia, but yeah, that's basically it. I pray this lesson was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, Abad Babal, and Shalom.